Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing Season 2 of Reacher. So this season was based on the 11th book in the Jack Reacher book series, Bad Luck and Trouble. And it sees Reacher being contacted by a former member of his now defunct MP unit when one of their own is killed under mysterious circumstances. And so he reunites what's left of his former team in order to avenge their friend's death. So from what I hear, this season wasn't as well received as the first one. And I guess in a sense that's by design. You know, in the same way that this show is bound to peak with its first season, the book series, at least for me, peaked with the very first installment, that being Killing Floor. With that being said, I still enjoyed Season 2 for what it was. Is it as good as Season 1? Definitely not. But I think it is a bit harsh for some people to be labeling it a flat-out disappointment, because it is still a pretty entertaining season of television in my opinion. So let's get into it. So firstly, I like the change up in the show's visual style. You know, the first season had a very golden yellowish color scheme, and this season has more of a bluish one, which I think suited this season's somewhat darker tone and direction. I also like the team dynamic amongst Reacher and his former MP unit members, that being Carla Dixon, David O'Donnell, and returning from season 1, Francis Neely. You really buy into the idea that these four have been friends for a very long time, and in my opinion, this team dynamic is almost on par with the team dynamic between Reacher, Oscar, and Roscoe. Also joining the cast is Dominique Lombardozzi, who is best known for portraying Hawk in the classic HBO show The Wire, which I've got a full playlist for if you're interested. And on this show, he plays Gaetano Russo, a homicide detective who is also investigating the same murder as Reacher's team. And of course, the T-1000 himself, Robert Patrick, plays Shane Langston, the head of security for a private defense contractor called New Age. The action is pretty solid yet again, and this time around, it's in some ways bigger and in some ways better. And while the finale wasn't perfect, it was still action-packed, entertaining, and wrapped up everything quite nicely. Now, the biggest problem with Season 2 is that, for all of its qualities, it's just not as fresh as the first season, as a lot of familiar elements of the Reacher formula are simply rehashed here. Someone was murdered, and so Reacher teams up with a group of other characters to investigate it. And as usual, there's a deeper conspiracy at play. This is a glaring problem for the show, because if it keeps relying on the same familiar plot elements over and over again, people are going to lose interest, and it stands a chance of potentially being cancelled down the road. And the other thing is that this season is, I wouldn't say as smart as Season 1. There are things that are going to require suspension of disbelief, and as I mentioned earlier, the finale wasn't perfect, mainly because it felt rushed in places. But honestly, these aspects didn't completely take away from my enjoyment of the season, and hopefully they won't do the same for you, because I'd still recommend it if you haven't seen it. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Season 2 of Reacher. Next time, I'm going to be looking at the Dexter prequel, Dexter Original Sin, so look forward to that very soon. Thank you all for watching, guys. Please be sure to like the video, share it, and subscribe. Ring the bell. Take care, and I'll see you soon.